Hey guys, what's up? So in this one, we're going to be covering the Atavaka guild boss guide for P5X Global version 2.3. This is week 1 of the guild bosses. And again, Atavaka is the Yui guild boss, but Yui is once again going to be usurped by Queen. So the team I'm running here is Vino 1, Wonder 2, Soy 3, Queen 4 with Phoebe as our Navi. If you don't have Phoebe, feel free to slot Okyan in here. I'm using Wind on the other side, but if you want to use her here too, perfectly fine. And I think I mentioned it last time because the last Atavaka guild boss kind of was the same deal where Queen was just... I just find this Queen team to be like infinitely easier than the Yui team. And even at A0, even if you do like 10% less, which I don't think you will, I think you'll probably do about the same anyway, if not better. For the amount of headache, it's definitely worth, it's definitely worth just using the Queen team. Especially for me, the Yui team, it's like the fights take forever. They're like RNG heavy with all the follow-ups. The Queen team is like cut and dry, and that's kind of why I decided to go with it. But obviously, if you want to use the Yui team, feel free. But as for what we're going to be running here, Wonder will be using Ex Machina with Bishamonten, Dionysus, and then just the highest level persona that you won't be using on the other side. My Bishamonten just has Imperial Purge and Rakunda. Again, if you don't have Rakunda, you can just use Imperial Purge the whole time. It's really just, as I said before, it's about his passive. You just want to use a skill on an enemy when he has ailments on so that you get these, the additional like nuke damage taken up. Dionysus, the standard Rebellion Revolution. As for unit builds, Queen has Awareness and Truth. My Vino is running Departure and Prosperity, so I ended up going with this over... I switched Prosperity onto her instead of Control, just because the Soy also had Control on, and I figured this might just help our highlight rotation a little bit. So I swapped Prosperity on. If you don't have Prosperity on, don't worry about it. It's not like a huge deal. Your highlight rotation might just be a little bit off. Soy is running Departure and Control, and then Phoebe is running Integrity and Labor. But yeah, I don't think I need to say a ton on this one. It's like pretty much the same as the last Atavaka guild boss. But otherwise, obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below, and I will answer as best I can for you. But otherwise, I think we are ready to hop into the fight, so I will see you when we get into it. All right, so we are going to start off by using Diving Ray. And then Wonder will go ahead and we will swap to Dionysus, and we'll use Rebellion on Queen. Soy will use Icy Defense. And then don't worry if you're A0, like I said, we're going to be using the A0 rotation, so we'll go ahead and use Sanction Drift here. No crash out. And now Phoebe is up, so I'm going to go ahead and just use Enchanting Stir. Again, your Phoebe rotation might be a little off from mine because I have 5-star. But just note, like normal Phoebe stuff, like use the skill 2 to get to the 2 premium cocktails, and then use her skill 3 when you have the 2 premium cocktails on. Whatever your DPS is. In this case, it'll be Queen. Vino will go ahead and use Bullseye Bomber. And we'll summon the ads here. These ads are... well, I'll get to them in a turn or two, but... we're going to go ahead and use Queen's Highlight on the boss. And then we'll switch back to Bishamonten, and I'll use Imperial Purge on the boss. Soy will go ahead and use Smash Hit on the boss. And then my Phoebe's up again. Once again, if your Phoebe's not up again, don't worry about it. Just use her skill 2 until you get the 2 cocktails and then use it on Queen. But we will go ahead and crash out now. And I'll use, not Sanction Drift, we want to use Thermonuclear Fury on the boss, which should trigger the other ad, I think. Alright, Vino back up. So here's where things probably start to differentiate if your Queen is not quite as strong as mine. Again, mine is A1, so she does more damage. But if you're worried about killing these 2 ads within the next 2 turns, because you'll have 2 opportunities to use Sanction Drift on Queen if you want to take out these 2 guys, and then you'll get the nuke damage up for the last 2 turns, which is kind of really where we want it. So it's not too much of a big deal if you have to spend both turns to take these guys out. But if you're worried about it and you're not able to do it, here's where I would start, maybe differentiating from what I'm doing is I would maybe use Blunt Edge here and get some chip damage on these 2. I'm going to use Diving Ray on the boss because I'm confident in my Queen taking these 2 out. And then again, if you are worried about it, you could bring, I think it's Cosmic, I forget what it's called, it's Cosmic something. It comes with him. You can just go put the skill on him. It's his like AoE version of Imperial Purge, and that'll also do a little bit more damage. Or you can put like a, an AoE skill on, a third persona that you bring or whatever, and do a little bit more damage. But Like I said, I'm confident in my queen, so I'm going to go ahead and just use Revolution on her. But those are 2 turns where you could differentiate from me if you were worried about taking out the 2 adds. Then I'll go ahead and use IC Defense. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Wonder's Highlight with Komakuten, or not Komakuten, Dionysus. I filmed like 3 videos today, so my brain is all over the place. And then Queen will go ahead and use Sanction Drift. Again, if you don't take out the 2 adds, don't worry about it. You can use Sanction Drift again next turn. Vino will go ahead and use Bullseye Bomber. I will stay on Dionysus and I'll use Rebellion on Queen. Reapply this. My Phoebe is back up, so I'll use Enchanting Stir on Queen again. Soy will go ahead and use his gun here. This also helps finish off 2 of the adds, like if you don't kill them. But we really just want to apply Daunting Firepower, and I'll just empty the clip on him. And then I'm going to go ahead and use President's Prowess. Again, you can use Sanction's Drift if you did not take out the adds. I'll use President's Prowess just because I'm going to use Vino's Highlight to reapply ailments, so we should be like good on the ailment front. Or if you're worried about ailments and the adds are dead, you can feel free to use Sanction Drift again there either way. I'll go ahead and use Diving Ray. And then I'll use Vino's Highlight. And now we can swap to Bishamonten. I'll use Rotunda on the boss. Phoebe's back up, so we have 2 stacks, premium stacks, so I'll go ahead and use this on Queen. This should carry for the last 2 turns. And then I'm going to use Icy Defense. I don't know if it's 100% necessary at this point. I mean, Wonder's like half health, but better safe than sorry, right? Because you're really not going to do a ton with Soy anyway. You smash it twice. The debuffs are going to be on anyway. Queen will go ahead and crash out now. And she'll use Thermonuclear Fury on the boss. And then Vino can go ahead and use Bullseye Bomber. Wonder, I will swap to Dionysus and I'll use Revolution on Queen again. Soy will go ahead and use Smash Hit. Now Queen should have her highlight back up, so we'll use it. And then we'll go ahead and finish it off with Thermonuclear Fury. And so 30 million flat. So again, maybe a little bit less for you if your Queen's A0, but unless you have like a high awareness Yui, if you have just an A0, R0, or straight A0 Yui, like I find it hard to believe that Yui's like out damaging Queen in you know, even with the electric weakness. If this was SOS where the score is like predicated on the element of the attack, then maybe you have a case to be made, obviously, because then the score is, you're just missing out on a ton of score. But Queen just like flat out damages most units in this game, if not every unit in this game. And this was like fairly painless. You know, there's like no real areas where you need to reset. There's no real like fear of dying too much unless you get super unlucky. But so I've opted for this. Again, if you want to use Yui here, feel free. But I just think this is like a lot easier and it's a lot less of a headache for you. So yeah, I don't really have like a ton to say on this one. Yeah, I hope you got something useful out of this. Yeah, for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one. Have a good one.